Throughout history, the most important item on a wedding night wasn't the gold ring or the vows, it was the bedsheet. And trust me, guys, for us who love and are very engrossed in Chinese dramas, we have seen this. And the one thing that I'm usually very concerned about is how they usually just hold that bedsheet in their arms. Like, it's a normal thing, but dude, that thing has blood. It has someone's hymen on it. Anyways, for centuries, across nearly every continent, a woman's worth, her family's honor, and even her life depended on a single token of virginity. This is a history of the virgin cloth, a biological myth that shaped the world. The tradition is rooted in the ancient misconception that the first instance of sexual intercourse must always result in bleeding. In many patriarchal societies, a daughter was seen as a commodity and her virginity was a contract seal. This wasn't just a social expectation, it was often a legal requirement. In the Old Testament, specifically the book of Deuteronomy, the tokens of virginity were the only defense of a woman if you were caught, if your husband gave false accusations against you. So anytime you were accused falsely of not being a virgin, your parents or whoever could produce a cloth. I just love that they actually kept the cloth. Okay. If her parents could produce a stained cloth to the city elders, she was cleared. If the cloth was clean, the consequences were often fatal. Nobles versus commoners. Now, I wanted to know, when I was researching, was it only nobility or did the commoners also do the white cloth thing? Well, the pressure was universal. The presentation varied by class. For commoners in the Mediterranean and Middle Eastern cultures, the stained sheet was a badge of pride, often paraded through the streets or hung from a balcony to signify a successful union. But for the nobility, the stakes were even higher because the obsession with pure bloodlines and royal successions. The bedding ceremony was often a semi-public affair. High-ranking witnesses, sometimes including bishops or rival lords, would wait outside the chamber or even inside to ensure the marriage was consummated and proof was immediate. In Imperial China, this ritual was known as Lo Hong. For us who, now we're getting back to our beloved China, for the Chinese drama lovers, the falling of the red. That's the name, Lo Hong, the falling of the red. During the Ming and Qing dynasties, the cult of chastity reached its peak. For the elite, the test was performed using a piece of pure white silk placed on the bed. The morning after, the silk was presented to the mother-in-law and then often placed in an ancestral box to inform the family spirits. That's just the funniest part to me. To inform the family spirits that a pure lineage had been maintained. China also developed the myth of the Shougongsha. I think we need to know how to pronounce it via Google Voice. So this is that Cinnabar Mole that we usually see people show. It's applied on a girl's arm that was whispered to vanish only when virginity was lost. It was a psychological tool of control that lasted for generations. What happened if there was no blood? The reality of biology meant that many women, even virgins, did not bleed. To survive, women turned to the cheat cloth. Brides would hide small sponges soaked in bird or rabbit blood within their garments, or use red plant dyes like pomegranate, you know what that is, juice, to mimic the expected stain. These were not just acts of deception, they were acts of survival in a world where a clean sheet meant a returned dowry, a ruined reputation, or being cast out by society. Well, today we understand the complexity of human anatomy, yet the legacy of the virgin cloth remains. In some parts of the world, hymen restoration is still a booming industry, proving that even as we move towards the future, the shadow of the ancient blood-stained tradition still looms over the wedding night. Tell me, guys, I don't even have a question to ask you guys. Just like, share, and subscribe. Goodbye.